Hi everyone, this is Rico with A Zone Defense Chief Firearms Instructor. No, I don't have an anaconda around my neck, but today's video, I thought I would discuss what I see happening with new shooters, especially those that are going to be carrying their firearm on the hip for the first time all day long on the range or everyday carry as a CCW holder. Okay, so let's take a look at the belts, right? I'm not talking about competition belts or battle belts, but your EDC belt. There's all kinds of fluff out there, and I'm going to show you what I like to carry versus some of the new things that I have and some of the things that I've tried and don't like and have sent back. Okay, so stay tuned. I'll try to make this video as short and sweet as possible. Now, when someone starts out, when I send an email that says, make sure you wear a sturdy belt to class, typically show up with one of these leather belts, which is okay. I mean, they work, but look, you have a lot of sag, and that's what you don't want to see, right? Because when everything is weighed down, if they were to put on a holster, maybe a paddle type holster, with the gun and mags, and I'm trying to be rigid here, it's gonna flip-flop around. Not only that, they may have a problem. I see this happen all the time. They're on the range and they're one notch, loosening notches, trying to make it tighter because you have these holes and they're having to maybe go back and drill in another hole to make it fit just right. Not only that, but leather tends to, you know, when you buy them new, they're sturdy, but over time they really break in and they sag pretty bad. All right, so enough about leather belts. Not knocking them. If you love them, keep them, but this is definitely not my first choice. Another belt that I see people bring are these belts here that they search, hey, you need a good nylon belt. This is not a good nylon belt, no matter how many thousand positive reviews on Amazon you might see. Now, I'm not talking about the brand on this one. It's probably a knockoff brand of something, but look, it's definitely not gonna have support. I've actually had students come to my class and they'll have a holster and they'll put on their holster and guess what? Right? The holster flies out when they draw their firearm because the belt isn't thick enough to catch in the hooks or these little retainers that holsters have. Okay, so if it's too thin, too saggy, definitely not a buy. No matter how many positive reviews you might see on Amazon. What else do I have in my neck? Oh, I am sad to say this is a belt I tried with Viktos. Now, if you know me, I love Viktos products. This is their EDC belt. And you know, you might see that if I hold it up here in the front, it is pretty rigid. If I put a holster on it, it actually clips over it really well, right? Where the clip secures with the belt. This is probably maybe a 1 1/4 inch width of a belt. What I don't like about this, they put in a lot of nice design features and like their color schemes, but I don't like this doohickey material here, right? Because if you nick this, it's going to start to tear over time. It'll just unthread and you're going to need to buy another one. What I do like is the magnetic buckle disconnect. See how easy that was? I do like that. But this right here, I think, is a design flaw. Not only that, but when you put these on, right, I don't have a belt on my pants now for demonstration. You have to thread them through and you have to play around with that a little bit, right? And it could get caught up in that little strap. Another trick is turn it the other way and thread it like you would a normal belt and it goes in a lot easier, okay? So this won't get caught up with your hooks, on your loops on your pants. Another one, which is actually very sturdy as well. This is from the We People. We People known to make holsters, and but this is their everyday carry. I think you call it their Ridgeline belt or something like that, but has a plastic buckle. Now, when you first look at this, like, how does this thing operate, right? So it has Velcro on one side. You kind of measure your waist and you put the Velcro on according to your waistline. So you extend this out for larger waist, close it in for smaller waist, and that's how you put this on. But look, if you put it in your belt loops, you're gonna struggle with that on a daily basis. And again, if you wanna not struggle with this looping through your belt loops, turn it the other way. It's much faster. Turn it in this way, right, as I'm looping it around. But because that plastic belt buckle kind of snags a little bit, it still slows me down, right, when putting it through my pants loops. But overall, you know, this is a personal choice. If you just like the product, again, it's a very, you know, sturdy belt. Doesn't sag like the other ones I just showed you. You know, it holds your holster just fine. Okay, that's from We the People. Now, my favorite system is a ratchet system, right? This is my personal EDC daily carry / range belt. I've had this now probably 5 or 6 years, and I wear it when I'm at home, on the road, at the range, even competitions. I'll wear this as my primary belt. It has a ratchet system. This is by NextBelt, and like I said, it's just hear that noise. It's just ratchets, and it has a little lever here. You pull up on it, and it loosens it up or tightens it up. So, you know, if you're growing in the waist size, it's easy to loosen it up versus punching a new hole like on a leather belt, or readjusting, taking your whole belt off and readjusting on the strap like on the We the People type belts. Okay, I like the ratchet system. What I like about NextBelt also is that they come in all kinds of colors and styles. This is more of a dressier look, carbon fiber, so I will wear this if I have to dress up, you know, business casual, something like this, and I might go with this design here, and it's still a ratchet system. And as you can see, it's still very sturdy. I can put on a holster, clip on just fine. All right, you see that? So gets in there just fine. Okay, so this is the NextBelt. I have my students, if I had to recommend one to a student, it'd be a NextBelt. And you know, these retail around $50, $55. Catch them on sale or get a coupon, you know, probably anywhere from 40 to 50 bucks, depending on the style. But these are the NextBelt's EDCs. What you might also see advertised when shopping for a belt are these competitor belts or competition belts. Also can be used for a battle belt. What this does is it's a Velcro, right? And these just slides in your pants loop like so. So now this is called your inner belt. And if you're competition, you have a outer belt, or it can be a battle belt. So this Velcro just kind of goes like this, and you can adjust it to your waistline, how much gear you're gonna weigh on this. And then what goes over that is, here's an example of a battle belt, right? Big buckle. There's all kinds of buckles out there. Don't get set on one buckle. Just find what you like. But you can see this Velcro is on, and you can just latch it. Right? Hear that snap, unsnap. This one here, you know, adjust different sizes and lengths. You set it up once. You put your Taculus holster on here, and your magazine pouches, med kits, anything you want on here as a battle belt. I know people that will set this belt up once and they're done, and this will be their home defense belt. We'll hang this on a chair, right? If they live along, and it's real easy just to strap this on and just go out and take care of business if you feel like you need to inside your home. Okay, so this is it. Also, I've had students show up in my CCW classes with sweats and put it on a holster, and things just flop over. It's like, didn't you try this at home? Why didn't you have a belt? For those that love sweats, there are specially designed sweatpants that have their loops instead of on the outside. Because typically sweatpants don't have loops, right? They just a drawstring. These have inside wide loops where you can insert a belt through the inside. And this is from We the People, by the way. And I'm not sure that the name of these sweatpants are. They have deep pockets. They have extra pockets for magazine. Anyways, if you want to carry wearing sweatpants, something comfortable where it can take an inner belt, here you go. Okay. Anyways, I want to keep it short, but that's my everyday carry belt, selection for you to go out there and shop. Anyways, guys, take care and thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Thank you.